fourth graders, this is Mrs. Leibold. We are on video lesson number 4. So today's work is for Wednesday, May 6th, day 3 of your packets. And today's work is going to continue on multiplication. And our target today, what we want to get through, is by the time we are done with our videos today, I want you to be able to use the array model for multiplication and another model that we're going to call numbers only. And we're going to be multiplying 2 by 1 digit and 3 by 1 digits using these two different models. Okay? So I want to review where we have been with multiplying 2 by 1 digits and introduce you to the numbers only model as well. And we're going to talk about some things that could go wrong with this model as well. So, all these cords behind me here. We started out with something like 65 times 4. And hopefully you've become really great at being able to do the area model or the array model, breaking apart 60 and 5 times 4, 60 times 4, 5 times 4, 240 plus 20 would be 260. Okay, taking that model, the array model, we're going to now look at a numbers only model. And the reason it's called numbers only is because we don't draw a box. We're not making the area of it this time, but we're still using those same equations. We're multiplying 4 times 5, which is 20. And then we are also multiplying 4 times the 6. But remember that 6 is 60, not just 6. So we're going to have our 20 plus our 240 for a total of 260. Okay? Let's take another look at a way the numbers only model would work for this equation of 38 times 5. So I'm first going to multiply my 8 ones times the 5. So just like we would in an area model, we would have 8 times 5 is 40. Then I want to multiply my 5 times 3, but it's really 30. So I want to make sure I have 30 times 5 for 150. For a total of 190. Yeah, that's pretty simple. But what would happen if I did it this way? I would have, that must be 0, 9. Okay, those are the same equations, but my answer is different. See, so there's something to remember about when we do the numbers only model. We have to remember about place value and lining up our numbers. Because this number is really only 40, and when I came in with, should be 150 right here, sorry. If I came in with 150 right there, I'm not going to get the same answer, okay? There, I messed that up really good. Okay, so when you're doing this, please make sure that we have the right numbers, that we know our multiplication facts well, and that we line up our numbers by place value. So, numbers only and area model are two different ways that we can solve multiplication facts. Now, to build on to that, we are going to take our next step and try the array model and the numbers only model to multiply 3 by 1 digit numbers. Okay, so here's an example going to 3 by 1 digits, 462 times 6. So expanded form, 460 and 2. That's how I've broken that up. Times 6. This time, my area model, I'm going to have 3 boxes of area because I have 3 numbers I'm multiplying by. So my first equation will be 400 times 6, which was 2,400. Then I'm going to have 60 times 6, which is 360. And then we're going to have 6 times 2, which is 12. And if I add up, and again, I have to make sure my numbers are lined up by place value when I go to add them up. This is 2 ones, 7 tens, 7 hundreds, and 2,772. Now I want to take that same equation, 462 times 6. Now if I do it as the numbers only model, I know that I can multiply 2 times 6, which is 12. And then this is 6 times 60, which is going to be 360. So I want to make sure I line up my ones and tens place. So give myself enough room over here where my answers are going. And then I am going to multiply 400 times 6 for 2,400. Add that up, 2,772. So area model and numbers only can be our two strategies for solving 2 by 1 and 3 by 1 multiplication problems. So that's what the rest of your week is going to look like. Multiplying Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are going to be multiplication problems or story problems where you're going to multiply either a 2-digit by a 3-digit number. If you'd like to grab some scratch paper or your whiteboard, I'm going to pause the video a moment and join back in. We can do a couple together before you go on your own. So go get your stuff. Okay, 4th graders, would you write this on your paper or your whiteboard, whatever you have, 374 times 5. Okay. Let's try the area model. Okay. And if I have 374, that's going to be 300 times plus 70 plus 4. 374, and I'm multiplying times 5. Okay. This equation then is going to be 300 times 5. This equation is going to be 70 times 5. And my last equation is going to be 4 times 5. 300 times 5, 3 times 5 is 15. We are multiplying with 2 zeros. 7 times 5 is 35. We're multiplying 10 times more. And this is 20. 1,500 plus 350 plus 20 for a total of 1,870. Now, if my problem were written like this, 374 times 5. With my numbers only strategy, I could try 4 times 5, which is 20. I want to make sure I give myself enough room for some bigger numbers in there. Then I'm going to multiply 70 times 5, which was my equation right here. Which is my equation right here. And then my last equation, remember this has to be 300. That's the hard part about this numbers only is sometimes we forget that that 3 is really 300. 300 times 5, they're mowing the lawn outside, is 1,500. I add those up, I get a total of 1,870. Okay? So, your work today in your packets, day 3 is I want you to just do all area model. Day 4, you can do half and half. or all area model if you'd like. Area model for half of it and numbers only for half of it. And then Friday work is some story problems, 2x1s, 3x1s. You may choose how you want to solve them, whether you want to do the area model or if you want to do the numbers only. And then there's some review going back to the algorithm for addition and subtraction. Okay, so we are going to be we're going to be experts, 2x1 and 3x1 by Friday. Practice, watch this again. If it's still a little bit confusing, give me a call or call your teachers if you're confused, and we're glad to work it through with you, okay? So have fun with that, and see you on our next round of math. Have a good weekend.